Welcome back to the Coliseum. They're in the middle of the national anthem. Let's listen in, and then we will get this game started. Hockey night in Fort Wayne is ready to get going. The Komets and the Icemen just moments away from getting things started here on a Saturday night. Tommy Schegler, Shane Alvarani, and Shane, let's go through the starting lineups.
Oh, the starting lineups tonight, a little different look for both of these clubs. First starting with the Icemen on defense, it's Daniel Tetrault, Jason Dale in the middle at center, right wing Patrick Kennedy, Trent Vogelhuber at right wing, and Anton Blomqvist on the other defense. Paul Dayton getting the nod in goal. This is his fifth straight start. As for the Komets, they put their leading scorer, Brandon Marino, right wing in the starting lineup. Ryan Hegarty, Tyler Butler, Matt Sierzinski, and of course, Colin Chalk. Such a nice sight to see number 91 skating around out there. And for the scratches for tonight, for Evansville, the Jens brothers are out, Matt and Aaron. Also, Tyler Miller, former Comet last year, he is out. Stefan Delarevere is also out, and Paul Karpachewicz, the other goaltender on this club, has been called up to Peoria. As for the Fort Wayne Komets, rookies Scott Kishel and John Dunbar are scratches. Mike Hoban also sitting out tonight, and Brett Henley is a healthy scratch tonight due to the veteran limit with Colin Chalk coming back.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Henley being out. Obviously a big body, but we talked in the pregame about the fact that the K's are the most penalized team in the league. Henley has been one of the biggest guys that have been a part of that, so that might help things out from that aspect at least.
Well, that's kind of a unique stat. I haven't quite seen that. The Komets, 1,094 penalty minutes coming into tonight, or 1,098, coming into tonight. And the third of those are on three players, Daniel Maggio, Kaylee Schrock, and Brent Henley. Maggio not in the lineup tonight. He was called up to Lake Erie earlier in the week, so we'll see if that makes a difference.
All right, we are moments away from getting things started. The captain, Colin Chalk, hasn't played since early December in the center circle, ready to face this thing off as we get ready to drop the puck. He's going to be up against Jason Dale on the faceoff. And it is Chalk, as he's done so many times, winning the faceoff, gets control, and here come the K's in the neutral zone. They lose it. And the Icemen bring it back into the neutral zone. There's Marino putting it into the zone. They'll give chase.
And that's one of the best things Brandon Marino can do. He is so good at redirecting that puck and interrupting the flow of the other team.
All right, here are the Icemen as they come in to the zone. Patrick Kennedy loses it, and here come the Komets back. Sierzinski dumps it in, and the Komets will get a change. Early moments here in the Coliseum. It is report card night. Always a fun night to come out to the Coliseum. All kinds of kids in the house, and all of them good students, Shane.
Yes, they are, and hopefully they're going to get an A performance from the hometown team tonight as Jamie Milam gets his first ice time of the night. This is his first time he has been in the lineup here in Fort Wayne in a year, and I don't believe we mentioned this at the start of the broadcast, Tommy, but Charlie Effinger in net tonight for the Komets. Marco Cousineau was pulled again last night. That's the second time in 2 weeks, and right now Marco is out of the lineup. He scratched. They're saying it's an injury. Larkin Salfrank, the emergency backup tonight.
Yeah, he talked to Charlie, and he just wants more time to get comfortable. He feels like he's a real field type of goalie, and just feels more and more comfortable the more he gets in. Obviously, with Ryder called up to the A right now with what's going on with Coos, he's gotten a lot more time as of late. We'll see if K's get a benefit. Here is a turnover coming the other way, and try to get a shot on goal, but it goes around the backside. Komets back with it. Fight for it in the corner. And there's Giosa. Corrals for the K's. Centers to Milam. Now they get it out. Here comes Giosa bringing it in, and we got an offsides.
Well, Eric Giosa is one of those players that the Franke family brought in to be a big scoring touch. He was injured earlier in the season. We were all kind of hoping he didn't turn into another Jesse Benefield situation, another guy who was brought in last year to be a big scorer, but injuries just piled up. He just could not get it going, but that has not been the problem with Giosa.
Chalk back in there for another face-off, but this time it is Nathan Moon getting the best of Chalk. Here's a turnover off the weird carom. And shot on goal by Sarazinski, blocked away by Dayton. Fight for it in the back. Zero and Chalk back there. They were so successful years ago. Have stayed close friends, really, throughout this time. And I think Chalk probably played a big part in him coming back.
Well, that was one of the reasons why he did come back. The story goes, Sarazinski called Chalker up and said, hey, I'm thinking about playing for Cincinnati this weekend. And Colin said, no, you're not. So that was pretty much the end of that story, and he's now back in orange and black.
All right, here's Marino. Komets change up a little bit. Back into their zone, and they get it out. Here the Icemen re-corralling, setting things up, bringing it out of the zone, and getting an outlet pass. It's skipped into the zone by Jason Dale. Beauregard bringing it out for the K's. Now Giosa. As they get it in, no one knows where the puck is. And we got a delayed offside there.
Well, Thomas Beauregard got number 20 last night. He leads the team in goal scoring. And right now he has been the most consistent scorer along with Marino on this Komet club. As we see Brett Smith now getting his first ice time of the night. He's in there at center.
Saw Smitty before the game. He seemed in high spirits, ready to go for this one.
Well, Smitty, he's taken over the emotional leadership, if you will, him and Kaylee Schrock since Colin Chalk has been out, and he's been very, very vocal. He's guaranteed this team's making the playoffs.
Giving chase back behind is Butler. He gets it over to Nicolette. Now here come the K's. Here's Beauregard into the zone. Nice pass. Giosa couldn't get a stick on it.
That was a nice play by the winger, Patrick Kennedy. He lifted up Giosa's stick right at the last second.
Fight for it in the corner. Coming away with it is Daniel Tatra. Fight for it as they both teams kind of feeling each other out at this point. Here's Kaylee Schrock. Schrock dropping the gloves the second into the game last night in Evansville, one that the Komets lost. In front, but couldn't get a shot on it. Now a big drive. Saved by Dayton.
Oh, Schrock had another shot right there. He was right in the slot on the doorstep, but he knocked it wide. Now Milan being on the same line with Risk. As Effinger plays it behind the net, it's pushed up along the far boards.
All right, here's Milam. Milam is an interesting guy. You know, a big part of that championship team a year ago. Of course, he went over to Europe, and you know, for whatever reason, ends up deciding to come back. He's an intense dude.
Yeah, he is.
That's the way I like to describe it.
This is his third stint with the Komets, and everyone is welcome to see him back. You know, there's one thing that Dave Franke's been able to do year in and year out. He manages to pull someone out of the hat at the end of the year. Last year was Mike Vascavu. It's Justin Hodgman, or it's Colin Chalk one year. Now he's going right back to that, trying to capture that magic with Sarazinski and Milam, and it's a great pickup.
Yeah, you can be sure that Dave Franke's probably got a couple more up his sleeve before it's all said and done. Here's Chalk. Nice access, and Marino couldn't corral in front. It was a beautiful centering feed, but they just couldn't get it to go. Garrett Klotz, nice centering feed. Here's Marino trying to get it in front, but it's ricocheted up in the air, pulled down.
That was Chalk setting up that play. They pass a little bit too out in front of Marino, and that's just going to be a timing issue with Chalk. This is his first ice time or game action he's seen in 32 games.
Here's Robinson trying to center, knocked away by the K's. We are in the first period here. Komets trying to end this three-game losing streak, get back on the right track, get back into this playoff hunt.
Another 3 points out of the playoffs West. Right now, South Carolina holds that edge, and they play South Carolina here in a couple weeks, March 1st and 2nd, down in their place.
Dylan Clark gets it into the zone. Now big shot off the post. That was Nathan Moon coming away with it, and now the Icemen, another blast. Effinger, save and cover.
And this has been an issue all year, getting those rebounds out. Charlie Effinger last year in the CHL, we saw him with Missouri, and he left a lot of fat rebounds all through that playoff series. He's improved that a lot this year in the ECHL, but it's still an issue with the Komets playing back on their heels, and you get an opposing team getting 2 or 3 shots at it, especially with a team with Todd Robinson, Beaulieu in it. And there's the replay, and you see Effinger just got a piece of it.
Cody got it out for another nice blast, but luckily there wasn't that much traffic in front of Charlie, and Effie is able to get the save.
Right now the shots are 3-2 in favor of the Icemen, and it's kind of surprising these teams have come out so tentatively after playing each other last night, and especially with the Icemen winning 6-1. I expected the Icemen to really bring the play to the Komets to this point.
All right, so this crowd is just waiting for something to get them riled up, and right now in the stands is Cameron Hughes. He's a sports entertainer that is in the house tonight. This guy, Shane, has been all around the world entertaining for the last 18 years. He has been doing just that, and evidently they pay him.
That's great, you know. Anything to bring more entertainment to minor league hockey is always appreciated. The Komets have always done that for the past 61 years. They always make it about the fans as we get our first penalty of the night, and it's going to be on Fort Wayne. We got an interference call.
So the Icemen are going to go on the power play.
Let's see who picks this one up. Looks like it's going to be Sierzinski. Sierzinski's heading to the box for 2.
So with 13:47 left to go here in the first period, first power play of the night, and it goes the way of the Icemen. Ty Robinson be a key face-off in the Komet zone.
Robinson, 49 assists on the season. He leads the ECHL. Only 4 goals, and the other 2 guys on his line, especially Beaulieu, has definitely gotten the better of that. He's got 22 goals coming off of Robinson assists.
Kays fight for it behind the net. Here's Chalk. Chalk trying to get it out, gets it up to Marino. Marino's going to be able to clear it. Also gives the Kays a chance to change. And actually, here's a chance, shorthanded. J.M. Risk, his shot is blocked in front, never made it to Dayton.
Tetro got in front of that shot, as Marino did a great job of keeping that play alive and getting some more time off this penalty clock.
Kevin Baker working in the corner along with one of his mates. Now they cycle it around. Half wall on the far side. Back in the shell of the Kays, and right through the crease the puck goes. They swing it back around. Big shot from Robinson.
Oh, that was tipped in front.
Another big blast at Effinger. They got to get it out, and the Kays are unable to do so.
Oh, Effinger left another big fat rebound, and it keeps the Icemen's power play alive here. Here's a blocked shot
blocked
in front of the net.
Kevin Baker, his shot blocked in front. Tatro is just set up by that blue line, ready to blast another one.
Milam got a piece of that last one.
Tatro.
Icemen here able to set up that triangle.
And they are passing at will. 27 seconds left on the power play. Icemen have been able to do what they want here, but they've been unable to cash in, and a nice deflection out of the zone by Kaylee Schrock that time, and that will almost kill the whole thing. And here's Brett Smith, turnover, and a save by Dayton on the shot. 7 seconds left in the power play. Here come the Icemen gaining the zone.
Great shorthanded chance by the Komets. That's 2 on that power play. Even though they weren't very impressive clearing the puck out of the net, they were able to generate some offense out of that, and we're back to even strength.
All right, here comes Evansville once again. Nice pass across the ice to Kennedy. He's unable to corral. And here come the Komets. Here's Giosa. He's got speed. And he's got a step. Oh, he's unable to get it to go.
Oh, what a right pad save there by Dayton.
In front, though, still loose. And the Komets are unable to get a shot off.
Dayton has been an AHL goaltender for most of the year, playing with Peoria. This is his 5th start in a row. He's 1-5, or a 6th start rather in a row. He's 1-6 in those starts.
All right, here comes Evansville. Effinger wheels it around to the side, is able to push it over there. Here come the K's. Shot on goal is deflected in front. Nick Wheeler's offering.
Nick Wheeler is one of the kids who was caught up from the FHL this year, and we've had quite a few, including Mike Hoban. And even though those players aren't quite as skilled as the guys at these levels, sometimes you want to trade that enthusiasm for experience.
Trapping team is Evansville. The K's are trying to break that trap and solve that problem right now. They get it down low. Here is Colin Chalk. That is his office behind the net. That's where he's at his best. Over to the corner, still fighting for it on the boards. Comes out in front. Nice little tap pass. The big shot is deflected. Centering feed off the post is the shot from Jamie Milam.
And there you go. There is the experience of Jamie Milan. He's got a great shot for a defenseman.
All right, so that was a good shift for the Komets.
Well, you're already seeing the effects of Colin Chalk out on, especially on that last shift.
Completely agree. Big shot and a save by Dayton. That was Kaylee Schrock. Schrock's offering is covered up, and we'll have a stoppage here.
Well, the one thing that I noticed the Komets are doing a lot better of tonight is getting that goaltender moving laterally side to side. There's only 2 ways to score in a goaltender. That's either get him moving or get someone in front of the net. And right now they are getting Dayton. He is sprawled out on his belly twice tonight, and he's made some great saves. And here we see the replays. Dayton swiping it away as Chalk picks it up from behind the net. And here's Furman picking it up in the corner, and he's the one who got the shot off there that ringed off the side of the cage.
From the Memorial Coliseum, Komets and Evansville here on Xfinity Channel 81. Tommy Schegler, Shane Albarani. We are scoreless here about halfway through the first period from Fort Wayne. Giving chase in the corner and corralling is Beauregard. Down to Smitty. They continue to cycle it. Giosa takes it away from a defenseman. He comes in front, looking. They continue to cycle. Here's Brett Smith. Gives off to Giosa. Giosa, shot and score! He fooled Dayton. I don't think he was expecting the shot of the wheel around, and it goes right through his legs, and the Komets get that very important first goal. It's 1-0 K's.
Oh, Tommy, you know, when all else fails, throw it onto the net. Nothing bad can happen, and that's exactly what that was. Smitty just spun around. He tossed it on net. I don't think Dayton ever saw it, and it went right in over his right pad. And here's the replay. Or we'll have the replay here in a second as we get here on the big scoreboard here at the Coliseum. That's number 12 of the season. Or Giosa actually gets it. He spins around, and there it is. Dayton never saw it. He was moving to his left.
And you're right, Shane. That went right over his pad and under his stick. I thought it got through his legs, but either way, counts.
It goes in. They got him moving again to his left, and he never had a chance.
All right, so here's Chalker trying to get it up to Sarazinski. They working around here to the near side. Losing an edge on his stick was Wheeler, or on his skate was Wheeler. They do get it out. Marino gives chase into the Icemen zone. Here comes Evansville on the attack. Into the zone, shot on Effinger, and another rebound thrown out there by Effie. Evansville keeping it in right now as they continue to fight. Patrick Kennedy and the boys doing a good job, and now they get a change as Komets bring it to neutral zone, and they'll have to get a change too as Milam dumps it in.
Well, I can't tell you how paramount that was for the Komets to get on the board first. They're 11-0 when they lead at the end of one period of play. When they score first, they're 16-4-1. So, you know, it's very important for this team not to play from behind like they've done so many times this year, especially here at home.
Here's Risk. They throw it in front. It's loose in the crease. Swiping at it is Chalk, and I believe it was covered up finally.
Oh, Hegarty was right in there. He was not going to give up on that play, as Cayley never does. He was waiting for that whistle, and Dayton finally got the glove down and covered it up.
It was out there in the middle of the crease to be had, and Cayley just could not get some lumber on it.
As here's the replay, as we see Risk coming down the right wing. And here's the centering pass, and right there is Hegarty. Saucered it over to him. Hegarty just could not get good wood on it, as that was actually Garrett Klotz who centered up to Hegarty.
All right, so back to live action here as it goes down into the Komet zone behind their goal. Worked around, centered in front, blocked away, and here come the K's.
And it's 3-on-2 as they get over the blue line. Klotz gets it poke checked away, and the Icemen are able to reverse ice and get it back in the offensive zone.
Dylan Clark centering.
We got a delayed penalty coming up. It looks like it's going to be on the K's. It's going to be a slash.
So another power play now. And, you know, this goes back to what we talked about a couple different times during the pregame, Shane, is the penalties have added up over time, and it has hurt the Komets.
And they're the most penalized team in the ECHL, or excuse me, in the conference rather, as the parade to the penalty box begins again. Now it's Risk picking up a slash. That's the second one here in the first period. Icemen 2 for 2 last night on the power play, so they actually did very well last night staying out of the box, but still Evansville 2 for 2.
All right, so another penalty kill situation. Last time on the power play, Evansville had it going, but they never really got any solid opportunities. In fact, the K's got a couple shorthanded possibilities, so see what happens here.
Milam is out there on the penalty kill along with Hegarty as they team up on the blue line.
Centering feed in front, loose. Shot is loose, and K's are able to deflect it away. Now it's behind the net. Robinson in the corner, fighting with Brett Smith.
Now we got a pile up in the corner, and it finally comes out, and of course the Icemen come up with it. Here's Tetral with a drive, and Effinger got a piece of it with the blocker.
Once again, K's trying to clear it, and they finally do get it out. Caught on a change. Here is...
That was Bolio.
Yep, Bolio is into the zone. Almost had a chance, but the Komets recovered quickly. In
All right,
front.
in front.
Very nice opportunity, and they just didn't pull the trigger.
It's Kevin Baker, who has 18 goals this year.
And now he scores.
Baker had the chance just a second ago, and now he ties it up.
Yeah, one-timer. Got it through the defense and got on that weak side. Effinger just couldn't get over in time, and the Icemen tie it up with a power play goal.
Another power play goal, and they had Effinger moving side to side again as we have the replay here. Effinger opened up that 5-hole. It looks like that's where it squirted through. As you see, Charlie picking up the puck. He goes to his left, and yep, right through, right under the right leg pad as he opened up those legs, and it was an easy goal for Baker.
Well, the first power play opportunity for the Icemen on the night, they had several nice opportunities and were able to pass kind of at will on the Komets, and that time it comes back to bite the K's.
Well, we've talked about how poor the power play has been, but the penalty kill hasn't been much better. They're 14th in the league on the PK.
Here's J.M. Risk. Icemen come back after intercepting the pass. Jason Dale dumps it into the zone. Effinger behind the net. Komets wheel it around. Furman gets it down into the corner. Butler is there and sends it over.
Butler with a big hit on Vogelhuber. It looked like they're in the corner, and that's another thing the Komets have to do. If they're going to pick up penalties, let's be a little bit more physical about it. Evansville's definitely a physical team. And right now they're not matching him for hits.
Here's Dale into the zone, looking for something. Decides to dump it down. Gets it across ice, centering feed. Broken up by the K's, and here they come. Here's Giosa. Giosa whips it around, plays it off the boards, gets it back in the corner. They cycle it in the corner, get it behind the net. Big blast, just wide. That one coming from Nick Wheeler. They keep it in the zone, however. Another shot, blocked in front. It's loose in front. Still loose. Giosa taps it out, but it doesn't stay in the zone, and the Komets will have to regroup.
And went off one of the Evansville forwards there, and it went out. It was a bad bounce. Wheeler got a good shot, or a good look at that shot, and he missed it wide. Oh, Nick Wheeler's kind of an interesting story. He turned pro a year and a half ago, and he's been on 7 different teams since that time.
Shot and a save. Shot coming from Mark Cody. Cody's still working down low, and he's going to end up with it in the far corner. Gets it out to the blue line. They dump it back behind the net. Milam's able to clear the zone momentarily.
Right now the shots are 9-7 in favor of the Icemen. Komets have been outscored all season. They're only averaging 29 shots on goal a game while they're giving up 35. And of course that goes along with all the power play opportunities they give the other teams. And right now the Icemen have had 2, and they're 1 for 2 with the man advantage tonight.
Robinson stalking, he's upended behind the net.
And another penalty called. And we're going to have a hooking. And it's going to be on the Komets yet again. And it's going to be Kaylee Schrock going to be sent off this time for 2.
Well, we talked about that weird stat that you came up with, and Kaylee was one of the 3-way parts of that thing. Of course, Daniel Maggio up in the A right now. Brent Henley a healthy scratch tonight, but Kaylee's still doing his part.
Well, taking penalties isn't necessarily a bad thing. That means you're being very aggressive and very physical, but there's some times where, you know what, you just have to buckle down and not take those calls. And when the majority of those are on 3 players, that's a problem.
All right, here's Furman getting it in. And Risk. Here's Risker.
Matt Furman's been a great find this year. He is always hustling out there. He's one of those guys who is just happy to be at this level, and he skates hard every shift.
He's doing a good job of keeping the play down in the other end while they're on the penalty kill, and offsides by Evansville.
That was Boio handling the puck. It looked like it was Robinson who actually got over the blue line before him. And this power play for Evansville is just deadly. They're 8th in the ECHL on the power play, scoring on 20% of their opportunities.
All right, so still 1 minute and 30 left on the power play for Evansville. We are tied at 1. Late moments of the first period here from the Coliseum. Trying to gain the zone, but pass intercepted, and the Komets are able to dump it all the way down.
Here's Marino skating down again, fighting through 2 Icemen, and trying to get some more seconds off that clock. That's one of those things one of the intangibles that Brandon Marino brings to this club on the penalty kill.
Did open up a play on the other side, but Evansville isn't able to cash in, and once again, Milam is able to clear it. Under 1 minute to go now on the power play. Here comes Evansville with another wave. Getting into the zone, try to set up shop. This is Dale.
Another pile up along the far boards. Now it comes out. Here's Plant. He has got a clean shot. See if he steps up and takes it. No, he's going to drop it back.
Half wall up top. And a big shot in front, and Effinger is there for the save. That was Matt Krug at the point with a big shot.
And that was tipped. It looked like maybe he went off a Butler's skate. Also, number 25, Patrick Kennedy for the Icemen was there. And that's what you got to do on the power play. You got to get people in front of that net, and that's what the Icemen are doing. 17 seconds left here in the penalty kill. 1:35 left in the period. We're tied at 1.
All right, face-off won by Evansville, setting back up, and thought about a shot, but instead a pass over to Krug.
Matt Krug, another former Comet, playing against the K's. Krug played 3 games in the playoffs a couple of years ago in the CHL, and he was one of those better defensemen in the old IHL from Muskegon. So he was reunited with Coach Rich Crom here on the Icemen's roster this year.
Full strength for the Komets. They are able to kill the penalties. That was big. Minute to go left in the first period.
Komets skating 6 minutes of this period shorthanded again.
Yeah, it's felt like a lot more than that.
Oh, it's
and
a great chance.
Big chance in front. Nice save by Effinger, as coming free was Trent Vogelhuber. And that was a nice, or Vogelhuber, I should say, and that was a nice shot.
Vogelhuber and Charlie Effinger, both products of the University of Miami in Ohio. They didn't play together, but they have that connection, being alumni of Miami of Ohio.
That was a great opportunity for the Icemen, and a big save by the big man, Charlie Effinger.
And here is the replay. Effinger got that leg out. Again, the Icemen get him moving left to right. Again, Effinger got that left leg out, and he made the save. Effinger kind of went down a little bit early on that shot, but he was managed to get the leg out there in time.
20 seconds left in the first period. Tie game. Nicolette trying to clear. K's do, finally.
Here's a chance at the end of the period
Here's
by
Risk. Risk backhand goes wide.
Dayton got a piece of it off of his glove.
And so that will bring the first period to a close. Tie ball game at this point, 1-1. And K's get that much needed first goal, but they end up giving up a power play goal to the Icemen. So we are at 1 right now after the first period here from the Memorial Coliseum on Xfinity Channel 81.
We're back live, the Memorial Coliseum, second period getting underway. Tommy Scheckler and Shane Albarani with you, and we've got a tie hockey game, Tommy, as we start the second period off.
We sure do, and it's one in which is up for grabs with 40 to go. Here come the Komets into the zone. Giosa looking for somebody to dish to in front. And instead cycles it around. Beauregard was setting up shop there for a second. Now Smitty's going to chase it down. And Giosa's got it back behind the net. Puck flies up in the air. Icemen corral and now trying to get it out of the zone. They do just that. Here is Dale through the neutral zone into the K zone. Drops it off for Vogelhuber and a nice pad save there by Effinger. And back come the K's. Up and down action here in the first minute of the second period.
That was another big fat rebound that Effinger laid out. He got the right leg out there, but if there was a white jersey on that left side, it would have been an easy goal.
Kelly Schrockline out there right now. They were able to get it by Kaylee in the neutral zone and now try to center, but it's deflected in front. Worked around, wraparound goal, denied by Effinger. Schrock fighting for it on the boards. Looks to get it out, is unable to clear. Icemen get a shot, and that goes just left of the goal.
There's Robinson, he's out there, he tries to center it up. Komets got a piece of it, and he doesn't get out of the zone, they hold it in.
Yeah, they were able to hold it in. Nice swipe out of the mid-air there by the Iceman, and Schrock is finally, no he's not, he's still unable to clear it. Milam, though, should be able to get it out with a quick little pass across ice. Finally, the K's are able to get it out, although not all the way down. And another good opportunity. Shot. Saved by Effinger. Another big rebound, but luckily for the K's, it comes out to Matt Furman. Colin Chalk, in his first game since early December, is on the ice and an offsides on Evansville.
We got a kind of a unique situation going on with both goaltenders tonight. They're kind of the Lone Rangers. I don't think you can pluralize the word lone, but they're kind of out there by themselves. Both teams working with emergency goaltenders tonight. For the Komets, it's Logan Salfrank, and it's Kevin Moore on the other end for the Icemen. And I'll get to a very interesting story about Kevin Moore in a minute.
10,480 the official attendance here at the Coliseum tonight on Report Card Night.
And it's another 10,420. It's a sellout. Leads the ECHL in attendance to the Komets.
Here is Chalk. Nice feed in front, but unable to get a shot off.
And we got a penalty coming up against Evansville. Here's a delayed call.
Shot by
Wheeler.
Yep, Wheeler in front, but it's knocked down, and now we'll get that penalty.
Let's see what we have here. Iceman's going to pick up their first call of the night.
And it looks like it might be Dylan Clark going to the box.
Clark is going to head off. Let's see what the call is. I didn't see what the referee, they're saying it's high sticking now. Yep.
All right, so the first power play for the Komets. What do you think, Shane? Good time to get this power play going?
Oh, here we go. They were 0 for 6 again last night, and we see Jamie Milam. He is out there. He is going to man that point. Butler out there as well. Beauregard and Smith are the forwards.
And I believe the other one joining them out there is Furman. Yep, it is Furman, and he has the puck on the half wall right now. Centers, shot by Beauregard is blocked away by Dayton, and the Iceman clear.
Well, they got a loose puck in front of the net, and you got to put it on net. It was an easy save for Dayton. Now the Komets got to regroup as the Icemen clear the zone.
All right, here come the K's into the zone. Beauregard dumps it into the corner. Furman's going to give chase after it. And Beauregard is unable to track it down in the corner before the Icemen are able to clear.
Icemen get a change. It looks like it's Butler. He's going to run it down. This first unit for the Komets have been out there for almost this whole first minute.
There's Giosa, Marino, and Sarazinski now after the change. It's right there behind the goal, and now finally brought out up top. Briss swings it over. Cross rink pass is blocked away, and Komets will have to reset.
It's Milam. He's been out there for this whole power play.
He appears to still have energy because he's chasing it down in the corner right now. Wrapped around the boards and dumped out. Dale is able to get it out of the zone.
And they're going to get called for an onside. Giosa just could not get back. He thought he might have got away with it. That's why he put his stick down, but the linesman right there makes the call.
37 seconds left in the power play. It will come out of the zone for the face-off.
Well, I said I had a story about the backup goaltender night for Evansville. Kevin Moore, he's actually a good friend of the starting goaltender, Paul Dayton. They were teammates at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and Kevin Moore's nickname in college was Rudy. He was a walk-on. He was the fourth-string goaltender, but this guy would not give up playing professional hockey. He got his first start in the FHL, and finally the opportunity came here to play with his good friend Dayton. And this guy really has tenacity. They call him Rudy because the only ice time he ever got was his senior year in his last game in the final minutes. As the Komets go back to work here on the power play.
Backdoor feed to Wheeler was unable to be successful by Colin Chalk, and now Chalk tries to keep it in.
And he does. Nice job by Chalker.
Here's Klotz in the corner, looking to center to somebody, get it in front. Now Chalk looking in front.
We're back to 5-on-5 as Chalk centers it. Oh, what a save.
Schrock's one-timer is denied by Dayton. We are at full strength, as Shane mentioned, and it's going to be an icing.
That was a sneaky shot by Schrock, but Dayton, he had plenty of time to square up. He got a clean look, and Dayton, again, an AHL caliber goaltender. He is a St. Louis Blues prospect, and he's going to make that save every time.
We are all tied up, 1-1, all the scoring coming in the first period. We are in the first 5 minutes of the second, and a shot deflected in front gets to Dayton. He ends up covering up after it was loose momentarily, so we'll get another face-off.
Komets 0 for 1 on the power play. That was their only opportunity here in this game. 14:56 left to go in period number 2.
All right, the Brett Smith line is out there, and Smitty is in the face-off circle, and no longer in the face-off circle as he's booted out. Giosa takes his place. Giosa unable to win the face-off. Icemen looked clear. Unable to do so. Volga Huber working, gets it centered, and now they get it out. But quickly turn it over in the neutral zone. Back come the K's. Leave it for Giosa. Beauregard, I should say. Now Butler with a shot, but it is turned away.
Now they had Smitty in front. He got a piece of that puck, but it went right off of the goaltender's leg and into the corner.
And shot all the way down. It does reach Charlie in the crease. He pushes it aside, but now wide open.
Oh, it's Tetro.
It just jumped over his stick.
Tetro would have had a nice one-timer there, but he couldn't corral the pass in.
Instead, it's Furman. Now Schrocky working behind the net. Gets it back to Furman. Furman working as they cycle it around. Hegarty tried to help on the pinch and now comes away with it momentarily. Goes right through his legs. So the Komets have to reset, get it back in. They're able to gain possession momentarily. Schrocky gets it behind the net. Knocked down by Furman on the far wall. Sent in and glove save by Dayton on the high shot.
Dayton played that puck just right. He said it looked like it was Wheeler coming in there on the left side as we have Paul Dayton 3.72 goals against this season. He has been up and down with Peoria and Evansville as both of these teams affiliated, of course, with AHL teams, so they've kind of been playing that game with call-ups and send-downs and everything else. Even though Evansville has been at the bottom of the standings, they have been very aggressive, trying to stay in the race. They have made 6 trades during the course of the season, and that's something you just don't see at this level of hockey with all the player movement. And we get a replay there of Dayton's save as he hauled it in with the glove. So the Icemen and their general manager, coach, Rich Crum, certainly aggressive, and they're not giving up on the season whatsoever.
You can see Colin Chalk there in front of the bench, kind of talking to the guys, talked to him before the game, and you could just kind of see the excitement in his eyes of the opportunity to get back on the ice. You know, it was an easy time for him The infection, was something that he had to deal with, and took the right amount of time to make sure that he was right, but I know he's so happy to be back out there.
Now, even though Colin Chalk is the assistant coach on this team and he was behind the bench all that time he was out, he's been up here in the press box. He's certainly been a presence on this team, but it's just not the same when you don't have number 91 on the ice.
Absolutely. All right, K's have it behind, but they're unable to gain possession, and here come the Icemen the other way with it. Robinson dumps it in and whips it around the boards. There it is on the near side. Robinson sends it in, but it's deflected in front by Hegarty. In front, nice shot, and a good opportunity. Nice save by Effinger as it was knocked up in the air, and then Kevin Baker was kind of right place, right time, able to put a shot on goal, but Charlie Effinger is there for the task.
And here is the replay as Evansville got that number 1 line out there right now of Robinson, Beaulieu, and Baker. And right there, Baker had a chance. And Effinger right there, Hegarty was right there to help him out as Beaulieu was screaming in there on the right side, but Effinger was able to cover it up and get the whistle.
Face-off won by the K's. Whipped around, Beauregard is able to tap it out. Almost the midway point of the second period. Puck is loose in front. Smith has it now. Centering feed, and a shot goes left by Beauregard. Just couldn't get a nice piece of it on the one-timer. Here's Beauregard again. Slaps one. Quick snapshot, and Dayton is there for the save.
Well, that was a nice play by Beauregard and Smith. Beauregard picked it up. Smitty was coming right across the crease there, and it got through to Beaulieu. As here's the play once again. As you see the miss on the shot from Beauregard. We just could not get enough wood on it. Nicola chases it down into the corner. That gave Beauregard the scoring chance.
Face-off won by the Icemen. Nice check on the far boards by Wheeler. Comes away into the zone, though. And here are the Icemen behind the net. Moon was working back there. They keep it in. And now Schrock is able to get it out of the zone. Picks it out of the air. Gets it over to Furman. Now Furman to Risk. Risk brings it in. K's kind of all bunched up. Furman works in the corner. Gets it around quickly to Schrock. Schrock's knocked down from behind. Now trying to chase it down. Here's Moon. Here come the Icemen. Moon trying to make a move and taken away quickly by Hegarty. Nice move defensively. Hegarty into the zone over the blue line. Centering feed, and J.M. Risk, man, he was trying to get a piece of that.
Oh, and Risk and Tetrol are going to get into it. Risk, he just kind of backed into that play and just kind of found the puck on its tape, and he was able to get a stick on it. Dayton made the save, but to him and Tetrol, he's one of those instigator guys. We saw him last year when he played for Wichita in the finals, and he is a very physical and a great hockey player, but he's also a great agitator as well.
Yeah, it's kind of the Kaylee Schrock of the Icemen, if you will.
Another one of the storylines in this game, we've got two of the best minor league hockey players ever to play the game, and Todd Robinson and Colin Chalk. They're both on the ice tonight, and it's actually a really great thing to see those two guys on the ice because, and here's a chance for the Komets
in front. Nice save by Dayton as Marino came in front when it was loose, but Dayton was all over it.
Oh, Dayton again. Here is another look at it. They got Dayton moving to his left, but look at how he squares up, and he sees it coming. He anticipates that and comes across the crease and gets the leg down.
That was a beautiful save, but a great opportunity, and the K's have had a couple of those here in the last couple of minutes. Another face-off won by the Icemen in their zone. They've been good at that so far in this period. There's Bloomquist whipping it around to Dale. Now Dale to Vogelhuber. Vogelhuber into the zone. Almost an offsides, but not quite. Vogelhuber down in the corner. Applies a nice check, but the K's come away with it either way. Able to clear. Here come the Icemen back with it. It's Patrick Kennedy. Jays are quickly able to get possession back, and here they come on the other end. Marino sends one in. That one goes up into the netting, and we get a whistle. And some more chippiness after the whistle.
Tommy, I'm surprised it's taken this long for the chippiness to come out. Again, these two teams played last night, and Cody and Schrock, they dropped the gloves 1 second into the hockey game. So, and again, these two teams don't like each other. It's been a rivalry. Not really, I shouldn't say a rivalry, but it's a rivalry that it's trying to be created. Evansville has only been playing hockey the past 3 years, with Fort Wayne really being their closest rival, and that's something that the Evansville management actually has been trying to generate, that rivalry with the Komets. And the way these two teams have played each other, again, the two most penalized teams in the league, you know it's going to be physical every time they hook up.
Yeah, now Sims there behind the bench, looking on as his team is tied midway through the second period here in front of a sellout crowd at the Memorial Coliseum. This game being brought to you on Xfinity Channel 81. We thank you for watching. Tommy Schegler, Shane Albarani on the call. And it's been a good one so far. Good second period so far for the K's. Haven't been able to cash in on the opportunities, and the Icemen are looking to do just that. Obermeyer sends one in. Man, Charlie went on his tippy toes to grab that one out of the air with the glove.
Oh, Charlie looking like a shortstop there. He went up there and hauled that puck from over his head to get the whistle. And here's another look at it. Look, Charlie got a clear line of sight on it, and he saw it all the way, and he was able to haul it in as he had Bolio right there on the doorstep.
All right, another key face-off. This one coming in the Komet zone. And it is won by J.M. Risk. Back behind the net. K's unable to clear. The shot is scored!
Oh, that looked like that may have been tipped.
I think it was.
It was Donnie Harris from the point.
But it sure looked like it ended up getting tipped and then maybe went in that near side high corner.
Take a look at the replay here. It may even went off the Komets.
Gabriel in on it. Moon was there.
And here's Harris's shot from the point. As we get a look here from behind the net. Moon is right there in front. It may have not been tipped.
Hard to tell from that angle.
They're saying it's unassisted right now. So it wasn't Moon in front. Yet they're going to give it to Harris. They're saying it's Harris's first of the season. And it makes it 2-1 Evansville.
So the K's need to respond. They've had some good opportunities in this second period, but as we just said moments ago, been unable to cash in. Now they need one to equalize. Here's J.M. Risk into the zone. Furman fanned on it, into the corner, and cleared. Nicolette lets the line change happen and now brings it forward. Butler sends it in, whipping around. Dayton's unable to corral behind. Here's Marino using that speed that he's so famous for. He's kind of being a pest back there.
Now, we haven't said Brandon's name too many times tonight. He definitely...
Here's Dale, centering feed, and knocked out of the air, but left of the net.
I couldn't tell if that was Blomquist or Kennedy who got the stick out of the air, and we got another penalty coming up. It's going to be on the Komets.
And I believe it's going to be on Tyler Butler, just from the reaction.
It's going to be a high stick. Kennedy was the man down for Evansville. He skates off, but Butler is going to get 2 for high sticking.
So another penalty kill situation here for the Komets.
4th of the night for Evansville. We get a look. Oh, yeah. Butler got the stick up in the grill.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Butts didn't like that one, but at least he got his money's worth. All right, so penalty kill situation. K's are able to win the face-off and clear right away. Good way to start things.
4th power play of the night for Evansville with 8:41 to go here in the second.
It's actually really feel like key moment in the game here, Shane.
This is a big penalty kill right here. The Komets cannot afford to go down 3-1 as they've seemed to have been playing from behind all season long. They have got to get a lead and be able to hold it.
Robinson gives it up, gets it out to Tatro. Tatro letting it fly, goes wide. Here's Baker. Baker sending it back into the corner as Evansville now sets it up. Furman's got a stick out, trying for a deflection, and jumps
here's
right
Smitty.
over Tatro's stick, and here is Smitty, short-handed, centering. Furman is there. Now another center, and a shot is stopped by Dayton. Kay still on the attack at this point. Furman turned away.
All 3 shots on goal in a shorthanded situation. I thought Smith should have taken that shot when he came down the left wing there, but he decided to pass it. But still, Komets get 3 shots on goal right there in a couple seconds. And here's the replay. Here's Smith. He is going to dump it back to Furman, and it goes right in front of the net. And Dayton makes another save. Now Furman picking it up with a backhand. Puts the paddle down, Dayton does, and he knocks it away, and it forces a face-off down here in the Evansville zone.
Do tend to agree with you that Smitty probably should have let that one fly, because he had other guys coming crashing to the net. Might have been a rebound opportunity.
Well, when you're playing shorthanded, there's no real time skating a man down to set up a play. When you get a chance, you got to put that puck on the net.
Here's another
Here we go.
chance. Here's J.M. Risk. Risker loses it as he approaches the net. One too many moves.
And we got a penalty shot. Schrock goes down.
Yeah, Schrocky goes down behind the net after he was bashed into the boards pretty hard.
I think they're going to say Risk was hooked. Referee pointed to center ice. Maybe it's not. The gate is open.
Yeah, I think that the penalty came on the check on Schrocky on the boards right after the opportunity from Risk.
Yeah, the official made the move. He pointed to center ice, and it is. It's a penalty shot.
Oh, you're right.
They're going to give it. They're going to say Risk was in the open. So the hook call, and John Michael Risk is going to get a second chance here on the penalty shot.
All right, so Risker, one of the more dangerous scorers on this team. Here he is against Paul Dayton. He approaches. Lets it fly, and Dayton is there. Stops it with the left pad. Risk may have waited a little too long to make up his mind and never really got.
Well, Risk tried a double move there to get around Dayton, but Dayton saw it all the way, and it was actually a fairly easy save. Risk just got in too deep. As we see Risk skating in here, he moves to his right, he does a head bob, then he fakes again, goes back to the forearm, and the forehand rather, and actually that wasn't as easy as I thought it was. Dayton made a great save with a left pad.
All right, so still 20 seconds of power play remaining for the Icemen. Here's Robinson, half wall near side, gets it behind the net. Tatro swings it across, back to Robinson. Tatro from up top, rebound out to Schrocky, and Schrocky on the attack now. Kaylee Schrock into the zone, lets it go, knocked away by Dayton.
Now look at Schrocky, should have got
behind the play.
He was tripped up behind the play. The official doesn't call it as he bowled over the D-man.
Crowd doesn't like it either. And in front, and an easy goal off the centering feed. And Kevin Baker scores that goal, and man, this crowd of over 10,000 is irate because there should have been a penalty down here on Kaylee Schrock.
Well, I think that the referee is going to say it really didn't affect the play. The puck had already moved up the ice before Schrocky was tripped up. I don't think this is what they're really complaining about. Oh, and here we go, and here's right before the goal as Effinger kind of hung out to dry there. Oh, that's a shame. After they had such great chances, they're shorthanded. They even had a penalty shot, and to give up a goal, another power play goal at that, that is just a killer. It's now 3-1.
Nicolette lost his edge as he tried to go behind the net there, and that left him down on the ice. Kay's already manned down at that point, so that left a couple Icemen just there to do whatever they wanted to right in front of Charlie Effinger, and no one was going to save that shot. I mean, that was just too easy, as Baker was just camped out right there in the slot ready to put it home. So we're now at 3-1 after 2 goals by the Icemen, and here's Baker. Unable to get around a check from the Komets. And here come the K's. That's Milam.
Now we got a penalty on Evansville.
Yep, now we finally get a penalty as Milam was brought down to the ice.
It's going to be a slash. Now the Komets will skate a man up. I think it's going to be Vogelhuber who's going to get sent off. Yep, number 33 hits the sin bin, and here we go. They just get tied up. I'm not sure where the slash came in. I thought it was going to be a hold. But it's 2 minutes anyway, so Komets will get a power play here. It'll be the second of the night with 6:04 to go here in the second.
Got to get a goal here. Got to get a goal here.
And there you see the statistic there. That is one no team wants to see. Ranked 23rd out of 23 teams in the league. And now they're in a 2-goal hole again. And they have got to get a scoring. They got to put the puck in the net right now on this power play. When tied after 2 periods of play, the Komets are 10-3-1. So it's so important. The Komets have just seemed to have that problem holding that lead, and they seem to kick it in there in the 3rd period, but then it's too little and too late. It's something that's plagued them all year long as they retake the ice here for the power play. As Thomas Beauregard is going to come out on the wings, Brett Smith is going to be in the center, and the defensemen are going to be Butler and Jamie Milam, and Furman is going to be out there as well as he takes up real estate there in the slot.
All right, so a key moment in this game as the Komets have had some unfortunate luck here in the last 5.5 minutes, and have find themselves down by 2 goals. Here's Tyler Butler. Smith has it. Far side corner. Gets it back out up top. Here's Butler sending it in. Furman was trying to redirect it in front, pushed down.
Oh, the referee blew the whistle. He lost sight of it, and that puck was loose.
It was loose. It wasn't even covered up.
That wasn't even close. The referee was back in the corner. He thought Dayton had put the glove down, but it was clearly loose. We get another look at it. Furman was camped out in front, and the puck rolls off of the blocker of Dayton, and it was clearly out. So another scoring chance taken away from the Komets.
All right, face-off, Brett Smith up against Todd Robinson. That one goes to Smith. Out to Tyler Butler. Sends it in, redirected in front, but goes wide. He's trying to set up shop. Thomas Beauregard, Furman fighting. It comes around, and Evansville is able to clear.
Well, Matt Szerzynski not here on this first power play line. They got Furman, another big body in front.
Butler losing his edge and enables Evansville to get off a shot momentarily, but it's blocked before it even reaches Charlie Effinger. One Iceman right now behind the net is giving the K's all kinds of fits, but Brandon Marino now finally gets it going.
That was Bolio. Bolio here on the penalty kill. Now here's Risk with a chance.
And Dayton there with the glove save.
Dayton came right out of the crease, and he was able to haul that one in, but another great chance there by Risk. But again, no one was in front of Dayton. He got a clean look at it, and he hauled it in.
And that is a sign of a goalie that's seeing things well and is confident, way out of his crease.
Now Dayton comes all the way out. He cut down that angle, did not give Risk much to shoot at, and he hauled in the puck and gets the whistle.
Dayton has 19 saves on 20 shots so far by the K's. K's do lead in shots right now, 20-18. We're under the 5-minute mark, 54 seconds left in the power play for the Komets as they're down 2. They need a goal. Risk. Gives it over to Marino. Marino reels around, brings it back up to Risk. Now cross ice. Big shot is blocked in front by Wheeler.
Now they got Szerzynski in the middle. He's clogging up the slot.
And that's what he's there for. Cross ice, Risk, sends it in, doesn't make it on Dayton, instead to the left. Here's Marino. Tries a backdoor feed to Wheeler that's deflected, but Wheeler's still able to gain possession. Wheeler half wall to Marino. Szerzynski camped in front there. Backdoor to Risk. He fires and it goes wide.
Oh, and Marino was there, and Dayton got a piece of it, just knocked it over Marino's stick.
full strength now. The penalty has been killed by Evansville. And there is a feed to Marino, and Marino scores in front from the slot.
Brandon Marino, this team's leading scorer. When you need one, you go to number 13. Brandon Marino, number 17 on the season. And again, that's just what goal scorers do. He was right in front of net. The puck came right to his tape, and he put it in the back of the net.
Well, they've had the pressure on throughout the second period. Here's your Xfinity replay.
And there we see Sierczynski camped out in front, right where he's supposed to be. He disrupts Dayton just enough. He was paying attention to Sierczynski, but Marino caught him off guard. He's the one who had the puck, and he knocked it in.
Yeah, that big body of Sierczynski really kind of blocking Dayton. Nice little screen there. And as you said, a goal scorer just knows how to do it. But here's a good chance for Evansville, but the shot goes high over Charlie Effinger from Dylan Clark.
Now the Komets got to feed off that. They got to get a step on the D here as Schrock sends one in.
Schrock out there right now with chalk. Butler sends one in. Dayton had trouble with it for a second, but covers up.
Well, Schrock was there, right there. He was heads up. He saw Dayton drop that puck, and he screamed right in there. But a good job by the defenseman for the Icemen to cut Schrock off. It looked like that was Matt Krug, who stepped in front of Schrock and gave Dayton enough time to get the whistle.
Tommy Schegler, Shane Albarani, 3-2 here from the Memorial Coliseum. Evansville in front. But the Komets have just gotten a goal to inch back closer into this game. Here's Vogelhuber slipping a screen, gets it into the corner. Back into the neutral zone. Furman fighting for it on the far wall. Coming away with it. Nice centering feed, and I think that was Beauregard's shot goes wide.
Beauregard got a clean look, but he was trying to pick that corner, and he missed.
In front again, but unable to get a shot off is Milam. He was brought to his knee, just couldn't get back up and get a good shot off. But the Komets are bringing the pressure right now.
There's Robinson dumping it in. As that number 1 line is back out there as Risk picks it up.
There's Furman, and that is offsides. I think maybe Risk thought that Furman was going to dump that in. He kind of just took off. Furman held on to it for a little too long, so the faceoff will come back outside of the zone.
Down to 2:26 to go here in the second. Icemen hold a 1-goal advantage at 3-2.
Here's Hegarty. Winds up and sends it in. Nice stop by Risk in the far corner. Now Giosa. Giosa trying to work it. Kaylee Schrock is set up in the middle. Shot by Giosa goes wide. Wheeler saves it from going out and now fights for it on the far wall. Kaylee Schrock is there as well. Here's Schrock in the corner. Taken away. Schrock still nipping at it, trying to get it, but the Icemen are able to get it out into the neutral zone as the Komets send it back in with Wheeler.
That was Tetral again. Him and Schrock have been going at it all night. Tetral is a great D-man. He just fought for that puck and was able to get it out of the zone.
Here comes Krug. Krug sends one in on Effinger. Big rebound
And
laid
again,
out there.
Oh, Effinger leaving that rebound. That was one he really shouldn't have left, and it turned into another scoring chance for Evansville. He just could not corral that into his chest. It bounced off, and Evansville got another shot.
Net taken off the moorings.
So here we get another look at it. Charlie had the position, but again, he was moving to his right. He didn't square up to that puck, which led to him dropping it basically as we get a stoppage with the net coming off.
It hasn't really cost him that much so far, but, you know, I mean, there have definitely been saves, and we talked about it earlier. You pointed out the lack of ice time, but I just feel like Charlie doesn't look quite as sharp as, you know, I've seen him in the past.
Well, he came in relief last night, so he knows what the Evansville team brings. But again, it just comes with ice time. 3 goaltenders most of the season, and Kenny Ryder might very well be back here in Fort Wayne. He was called up because of an illness.
Nice shot there, and a score by Dylan Clark.
The Icemen just caught the Komets running around in their own end. And again, Charlie Effinger was left out to dry for the second time tonight. And the goaltenders, their number one job is to give his team a chance to win. But right now, the Komet defense is not giving Effinger opportunities to do that. And again, Effinger moving to his left out to dry.
But Clark is just unmanned on the backdoor feed, absolutely wide open, and had a huge net to work with. As you mentioned, you can't blame Charlie Effinger for that one. And there's 2 Icemen sitting right there. Obviously, it's Clark that ends up getting the goal, but there's 2 guys completely unmanned on the back door. You got to clamp that down. You know, talking to Kaylee Schrock before this game, they talked about the defense and how they needed to get back to their roots, and it's definitely loosened up here a little bit late in the second period. It's now 4-2. Evansville, we're under a minute to go here in the second, and that one was costly.
And Schrocky's dead on. This team has got to go back to playing defense. There's no lack of offense on this team between Beauregard, Chalk, and Giosa and Marino. We got plenty of guys who can put the puck in the net, but defensively, they are just not matching up. Down to 20 seconds to go here in the period. Let's see if the Komets get one last rush as the Icemen dump it in. It's going to be Hegarty running it down. He leaves it for Butler. Now Furman with it. He's going to dump it off the boards and go deep into the Evansville net, which is 4 seconds.
And the K's probably won't get a shot off. That is how the second period will come to an end. And one that kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth for the Komets, as Dylan Clark gets a late goal for Evansville after the Komets had gotten to within 1. And so we sit at 4-2 after 2 from the Memorial Coliseum. That is where we at as we head into the second intermission. This could be one of those moments, one way or the other for the Komets. 20 minutes to go, down 2. On a 3-game losing streak. Got to stop the bleeding because there's not that much time left. We are in the home stretch. We're not approaching the home stretch. We are in the home stretch of the season.
Now, when you're looking into the playoff picture and you're outside, it is definitely a stretch, even though we're in the middle of February. We still got 6 weeks to go, but the Komets, they have got to get that defining moment. It's a big crowd here tonight. If they can come up with the upset here, or the comeback rather, that could definitely launch them into a game tomorrow. They've got to get on the bus and go to Toledo tomorrow for a 5 o'clock start.
All right, let's see what the Komets are made of. The third period has started, and the K's are looking to clear their zone and get on the attack. They do just that. Here's Brett Smith down the wall. Giosa behind things, looking to center is Smith. He has Beauregard in front if he wants him. Giosa wheels around in front. It's got an opening, and it goes high.
Now there's one of those shots you just got to hit. You're not going to get that many chances to get Dayton. He left that right corner all the way open, and they just could not pick it.
We got a whistle.
Both teams will change it up here. We're just underway here in the third. 19 minutes and 10 seconds left. K's down by 2.
All right, so we got a face-off now just outside of the Evansville zone. And here is Jamie Milam after the win of the face-off. Dumping it in, whipping around. Kaylee Schrock deflected by Milam, trying to keep it in, but Evansville gets it out. Back comes Furman. Furman trying to make a move. Tries to split the D, unable to do so. Here's Risk. Wheels it over to Milam. Now they dump it in. Risk giving chase. Nice check behind the goal, and Furman trying to corral. Schrock ends up with it. They get it out in front, but nobody home.
Well, moments like these are made for Kaylee Schrock. He seems to be the guy when there's not much energy on the ice and in the building period. He's the one who seems to come up with a big hit, or he gets into a fight to get the crowd into it so the K's can feed off that energy.
Robinson trying to center, gets it out to Clark. Clark fighting for it. Bulio Dumps it in to Robinson. Here's Clark. Half wall, high side. Back out. Sending it in behind the net was Bulio. Komets trying to clear. In front, Bulio, and Effinger makes the save.
See, again, right there, Bolio, you cannot leave him wide open. He is a sniper. He got a clean shot. No one in front, and Effinger was able to kick that leg out and make the save. Bolio, a former Flyers farmhand. He was a fifth-round draft pick a few years ago, and he's quite familiar with the Komets. He played with Evansville last year, and he played with Rapid City 2 years ago in the CHL when they had that memorable first-round playoff series. Bolio was a big player in that series that had Rapid City winning in 5 games.
Face-off won by Evansville. Sending it in quickly was Krug. It was wide of the net. Case still trying to get it out of their zone. They finally do. Marino giving chase. Furman dumps it so they get a line change.
Now look at Marino. He's chasing down that puck. He never gave up on the play. He almost picked it clean or right off of the goaltender's stick, and it creates a chance for Chalk to get it deep into the zone.
Chalk looking for somebody to center to. Finds it in Wheeler, but Wheeler's shot can't find the net.
Oh, you got to get those shots on net. Wheeler was wide open, and he missed it by a mile.
And a glove save by Effinger after the shot by Clark.
Well, I've said, about the goaltending situation here in Fort Wayne. The Komet fans have kind of been spoiled a little bit with the goaltenders. They've had Nick Boucher in net for the past 4 years, and it's been a clear starter and a clear backup this year. Really haven't had that clear starter. We've had a rotating of 3 goaltenders. Kenny Ryder might get sent back down from Bridgeport any day now if Bridgeport's #1 goaltending prospect, Anders Nilsson, comes off of illness. So Ryder could be back, and we could be looking at a 3-man rotation again.
Ryder was playing well.
Ryder got into the game last night in Bridgeport. He gave up 2 goals in relief.
All right, 17 minutes to go in this game. K's down 2. Tommy Schegler, Shane Albarani from the Coliseum. Marino sends one in. We have a whistle.
They got a penalty.
Yep.
It's going to be a hook. And the Komets are going to get sent off again. That took away that scoring chance. This time it's going to be Chalk.
Yep.
Hooking call on Chalk. That's his first penalty since returning to the team here tonight. And it's going to put the Komets 1 man short again.
All right, see if we can get some of those shorthanded opportunities like we did a couple penalties ago. Evansville's going to try to cash in.
5th power play of the night, and there was a chance for 17. Baker again. He's got 2 goals tonight. Here's Tetrault from the point.
Baker, the one-timer, fans on it. And the Komets are able to clear. Komets get a change.
Now Robinson back out on the power play here for Evansville. He's got 1 assist tonight after getting 4 points against the K's last night. He's going to slap it in from center ice, and Tetrault will run it down.
Nicolette sends it behind, and then Milam is able to clear. Brett Smith chasing down Dayton behind the net, and now goes to the bench, gets some relief.
Jamie
Giosa
Milam,
on.
his first home game since winning the President's Cup last year. And one thing that Milam is great on the penalty kill, he gets that puck and he gets it down the ice in a hurry.
Here's Bolio in the corner. Up top. Evansville looking for a shot. This is Krug.
I look for Plante. He's another guy who can rip it from the blue line.
Absolutely.
He's going to have a clean shot here. He risks one in, and it's wide.
Krug keeps it going. Try to set things back up. Moon working down low, sends it in front, no one home. Milam's going to be able to clear.
And there's Milam again. He got that puck. He didn't even hesitate. Wasn't looking for an open man. He just wanted to get rid of it, get it down the ice, and the Komets can get a change.
13 seconds left on the power play. This likely the last wave by Evansville.
Oh, nice poke check. It's Hegarty.
Hegarty is thrown to the ice, and there is going to be a penalty called.
Hegarty, great poke check. and he draws the penalty from Krug. He went up high around the face. And let's see what Krug is going to get. I couldn't tell if the stick came up high or not. See right there, yep, he's going to get up into the face and haul down Hegarty.
All right, this is exactly what the Komets needed. It'll be 4 seconds of 4-on-4, and then the Komets are going to have a power play for 1 minute and 56 seconds. One, which you feel like they kind of need to cash in on it.
They have to cash it in. We're at 4:58 to go in the the hockey game, and they're down by 2. They got to get the puck in the net here quick.
All right, power play for the K's, but right now it's Robinson with a chance, shorthanded, holds it up, gets it back, and Evansville kind of plays keep away, kill away this penalty. They're doing a good job of it right now.
Now they got the Komets just chasing the puck around the rink right now. Incredibly smart play. You got Tetrold and Robinson out there, 2 of the smarter players on the ice, and now the Komets finally get it as Chalk now on the man advantage.
Butler sends it in, whips it around the boards. Beauregard's going to be there waiting for it, sends it back in. Chalk looking for something to center to. Ciro is in front. Butler, one-timer, broken stick by Milam.
Wow, that's kind of a sad commentary on the Komets power play this year. Milam wound up, and he was going to just let one fly, but he breaks his stick.
Yeah, that was a great setup of a play, and you're right, kind of a microcosm of what it's been
right.
like. All right, so the K's have to retreat once again. Dale being a pest. Here come the Komets. Risk to Giosa. Giosa sends it into the corner. Giosa checking it out, sends it back up top to Marino. Marino fumbles with it, and the Icemen are able to get it out. Dale once again on the chase. And coming away with a shot is the Iceman, but Effinger is there for the save, and here come the K's back up with it. Giosa into the neutral zone. Gains the zone. Try to get it over to Marino. He couldn't get a shot off. Get it back up top. This is Risk. Risk to Wheeler. Wheeler lets it fly. Puck was out in front, but the Icemen are able to clear.
Yeah, that puck was knocked down before it ever got through to Dayton. Now Dayton, kind of a dangerous clear there. He shot it right through the slot, and luckily it fell onto the stick of a guy in a white jersey, or that could have been a great scoring chance for the Komets.
Evansville kills off the power play. We're back at full strength. Here's Butler down behind the goal. There's Klotz trying to keep it in, unable to do so, and it's going to be icing.
So both teams back skating 5-on-5 as we hit 12:37 to go in the hockey game. Komets have to get right back on a bus and head to Toledo for a 5 o'clock face-off. And there's going to be an alumni game played before that contest between Toledo and Fort Wayne. I got the roster here for both teams and some great old names from my childhood like Dale Baldwin, Martin Bergers, and John Hillworth going to be in the lineup for the Komet Old Timers tomorrow in Toledo.
Beauregard's got Smith in front, never saw him, takes a shot, knocked down in front. Here's Ciro. Ciro in the corner. They cycle it around. This is Smith.
I got to get set up. No one is in front of the net.
Beauregard wide open. Looked for a feed. Couldn't get a shot off. Ciro was unable to get over there to get a shot.
Looks like he hesitated just a second, and that gave enough time for Matt Krug to get across and disrupt the shot.
Here's Beauregard. Looking for a man in front. Sierzinski is camping out. Deflected in front. They had Dayton down. It was open. Hegarty keeping it in, chopping away at it. On the wall, and the Icemen finally get it loose. Milam, quick outlet to Chalk. Chalk's got Marino with him, hangs on to it, sends it into the corner. Now back around. Here's Chalk with it again. Chalk wheeling around. Passing it back down into the corner. Hegarty loses his edge. Furman tries to cut it off, and Komets definitely stepping up the aggressive play. Really pitching down in there right now.
That's still not resulting in any quality scoring chances As again, the puck goes all the way down to the Komet zone. Robinson's going to hold it in. He's going to flip it
They got a
down
man in
low.
front, but they're unable to get it to him. They had a guy camped out wide open in front, and it was Bulio. Here's Jam Risk. 2-on-2. Risk can't find the net with his wrister.
Again, that shot was blocked in front of the net. It never got through, and it missed way high.
And a whistle as puck's kind of held up there in the corner. 10:30 to go in the game. 4-2. Evansville up by 2 at this point from the Memorial Coliseum.
Well, this game hasn't been chippy at all, Tommy. As you know, we talked, these two teams played last night, and you think the Komets getting beaten 6-1, they would have that chip on their shoulder, come out, but right now, again, they're coming out, they're showing their aggressiveness, but again, that aggressiveness comes out when they're down 2 goals.
Yep, they dug a hole for themselves, and they need to find a way to dig out here. They got a half a period to do so. You're looking for somebody to just kind of give you a spark at this point.
Well, one of the things that some of the fans have been saying this year about the problem with the Komets, one of the things has been the player movement. However, that really doesn't factor into it. The Komets have used 35 players this season, and that's really about the average they have used since going down to AA. They average 34 a season, and if you go back, the Komets used 52 players back in 96-97, 51 in 97-98, and that's a team that won the division. And if you go back to that first year in the United Hockey League when the Komets went down to 2A, they used 50 players in that season, and that was a team that made it to the conference final. So really not an excuse. The players certainly are not using that as an excuse, because these guys are professionals. They got to show up to play hockey every night no matter who's on the roster.
All right, face-off in Evansville zone. Furman's got it in front. Puck still loose. Knocked down. That was Nicolette trying to get a shot in, but it was deflected before it ever found Dayton. And it's finally cleared. Nicolette tied up with it. Finally comes away. Volgehuber trying to cut it off, unable to do so. Smith really hampered coming through the neutral zone.
They got another penalty.
Yeah, and they should have. He was definitely impeded.
It's going to be a hook on Evansville. That's going to be Jason Dale being sent off. Jason Dale, another one of those guys who've been around. We've certainly seen him when he played for Bloomington in the IHL and again in the CHL. And here we get a look at the call. Dale kind of threw his arms up. Nope, it wasn't me. Kind of a look to the referee, but the referee all over it. He makes the call. And here we go. Another man advantage for the K's with 10:04 to go in the hockey game.
Another big moment in this one. K's need something to get him going. Swinging out to Butler. Butts thrown in front. Wide open shot for Giosa. He fans on it.
Evansville getting a lot of traffic in front of their own net, but they're putting up a wall. They're not really screening their goaltender. They're knocking that puck down before it even gets through.
Short-handed opportunity, but Robinson backs off, just dumps it in. Marino trying to find a man, outlets to Giosa.
There's only been 2 shots on net this entire period. Make it 3.
Milam sending that big shot of his in on Dayton. Rebound was swatted away out of the air and then deflected up into the crowd. So got a stoppage here, and we'll have a face-off. Still minute 19 left in the power play.
This face-off's going to come outside the zone. The referee saying it was tipped. So Chalk will get in the center to take this drop. He's got Beauregard to the right, Smith to the left. Now you got Risk dropping back as the D-man there on the left side along with Nick Wheeler.
Face-off won by the Icemen, sent all the way down the ice. Here is Risk behind his own net, brings it out.
Komets again, they're playing one defensive man down since Chalk came off of IR today. Brent Henley had to sit down, so Risk coming up from his forward position to play the blue line tonight.
They set it down and clear again. 50 seconds left on the power play.
Only 1 shot on net here in this power play. Only 2 in the entire period for Fort Wayne.
Here's Here's Chalk. Smith then whips it around. Beauregard gets it over to Chalk. Chalk to Smith. He fans. Here's Milam.
Again,
Wheeler.
Milam. It was
Actually,
Wheeler.
it was Wheeler.
Yes,
Check
it was Wheeler. He got too much of the ice. He was wide open.
He was. Smitty fighting in the corner. And it's dumped out. 15 seconds left in the power play. This will be the last opportunity for the K's. Beauregard gets the zone. Over to Smitty.
Schrock is in front. Now Kaylee's going to run down that rebound. Butler's got to take a shot as we're now even strength, and it goes right into Jason Dale. Dale picks it up.
And Evansville has just done a great job of killing off penalties. Here's Baker sending it in on Effinger. He swipes it away and then leaves it. Here's Schrock. Schrock trying to slip the check, gets around it.
Well, even though Evansville, they take a lot of penalties too, but their penalty kill has been outstanding. They're number 6th in the entire ECHL. And if you're going to commit a lot of penalties, that's what you got to do. Here's Marino going to get a chance.
And it's deflected before it even gets on Dayton. Nicolette backhands it into the corner. Marino, and it jumps over his stick.
Marino, he took his eye off the puck. He was already eyeing the net, and he kind of sunk his head. He knew what he did wrong there.
Out in front, Furman. Icemen do a good job of recovering quickly. Marino trying to stop it on the wall. Out in front. Giosa keeps it in.
Running out of time. We're down to 6:50 to go in the game.
Giosa in front, unable to get a shot off. Sarazinski sends one in. Marino's dragged down in front. Here's Ciro. Ciro behind the net, looking for somebody in front. Doesn't have anybody. Sends it back behind. Another centering feed and no one home.
That just split the D-man, Nicolette and Milam. Nicolette's going to run back. He hustles back and try to salvage the play. Here's Sierzinski getting over the blue line. They're on sides, but he needs some help. Here's Milam. He's going in. He's going to take a shot. And Dayton the save.
Here's Wheeler. Wheeler, quick wrister. Deflected in front and then turned away.
I don't think the goaltender saw that one at all. He didn't react to it till it was in the corner.
Here's Wheeler dumping it down. And puck jumped up.
So that'll draw the whistle, and we get a timeout here with 5:57 to go. Time winding down for the Komets. They dropped this one. It's 4 straight, and it's their first 4-game losing streak since last season. And we've talked about it here in this third period. This is a huge week, and right now the Komets not answering the bell as they go on the road to Toledo tomorrow.
There's good old Cameron Hughes. He hasn't lost energy. He's still got it going on.
Well, these fans are sticking around, even though the K's down by 2. It is still a full house, and you got to think if the Komets can get one, this place will erupt, and they're going to feed off that energy.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It's still quite the packed house. They got the wave going right now and everything. Such great support here in Fort Wayne for the Komets. Now for 61 seasons.
They're number 1 in attendance in the ECHL. They have taken that moniker with every league they've been to, whether it was the old IHL, the new IHL, the UHL, the Central League, and now the ECHL.
All right. See if they can get something going here. Risk wins the face-off. In front, Hegarty trying to send it in. Furman.
Good job by Jason Dale. He tied up Furman. He got that stick down and wasn't letting Furman go.
Kay's able to keep it in. They send it back in front. Deflected a couple different times. Redirect. In front. Schrock. Huge save by Dayton.
And Hegarty, the defenseman. Hegarty in a risk. They thought both of them were going to go for it. Neither one of them got it. That's like 2 outfielders coming together on a baseball field, and no one calls it. That took away an opportunity for the Komets, but that's been the story, unfortunately, for Kaylee Schrock all season. He has those good looks in front of the net, but he just cannot finish. That was a great save by Dayton. He was sprawled out, and he got that left leg up, But the big thing on that play was the defensemen's coming together. The puck split him right down the middle, and it took away another scoring chance.
Yeah, how does Schrocky not bury there? Because he's going to score most of the times that he gets an opportunity like that. Fantastic save made by the goalie, Paul Dayton. He has been up to the task tonight. He has 26 saves and 28 shots by the Komets. And right now set in front, it went right through the legs of Dayton, kind of went on the side of the cage and went out in front, but nobody was there. Now we're going to get an icing.
Dayton wasn't quite sure if he should play that or not, and I'm not sure who the Comet was who threw that in front of that. That's a smart thing to do. Maybe getting a deflection off of the skate. Now Dayton, he's having a talk with Tetrold. So we get a face-off here deep in the Evansville zone as we hit 5 minutes to go.
All right, here's Brett Smith, loses the face-off, coming the other way, and up into the stands over the glass, so we're going to get another face-off. Under the 5-minute mark, Komets got to get a goal, get back into this thing, make it a one-goal game, get this crowd back into it, as Shane was alluding to a couple minutes ago. Next up at home for the K's, Friday the 22nd. Against Cincinnati, first place Cyclones.
And that's a team the Komets have played very well this season. They had a packed house in Cincinnati a couple weeks ago. Komets went out there and spoiled that night. And then they played them very tough here, getting a victory 2 weeks ago here at home. So they match up pretty well with Cincinnati, but that's a very young and skilled team in Cincinnati.
We talked about earlier, they have to go to Toledo tomorrow. They're off until Friday. A game against Cincinnati. So a lot of key games coming up for the K's. They're in the middle of one right now, one in which they're down 2 goals. Face off one, but it takes a weird bounce and comes out of the zone. Marino takes it over the blue line. Little shot on goal, and that one was an easy save for Dayton.
Well, if the Komets can pull within one, and they drop this one by one, you got to go back to that penalty shot that Risk got in the second period. When you get opportunities like that, you have got to score.
Yeah, there are a couple of, you know, the one goal by Evansville, too, very easily could have been a penalty call, you know, for on the
that was a play where Schrock was hauled down, but it was behind the play. The puck was well up the ice, and I think that would be the official's explanation of why that wasn't a call.
All right, here's Colin Chalk. First game back since early December. In front, still loose. Sierzinski swiping at it, but couldn't get it home.
That's what Matt Sierzinski does best, but Danton, he just closed that door so quickly. But you saw right there how fast Sierzinski's hands are. That's what he does. He camps out in front of that net, and he scores most of his goals within 10 feet, and he's 6'5".
Here's Hegarty having to retreat behind his net, loses his edge again. Butler is kind of left alone. Nice deflection because he had a man backdoor to the Icemen breaking towards the net. Here's Giosa. Got a step, got the puck. Marino behind the net, looking for a centering feed. Now to Smith. Giosa's in front. Wheeler unable to corral and turns the puck over.
Well, the Komets right now, we're going to come up on 3 minutes. They have just got to get the puck and put it on the net. They have got to pepper this goaltender as much as they can here in this final 3 minutes.
They've outshot the Icemen 30-22. But that means very little when you look up at the scoreboard and they're down 2. Here's Smith to Milam. Milam tries to swipe it out of the air. Still loose in front. Milam ends up in the middle of the goal. So's Dayton. Actually, Giosa is the one that ends up in the goal, and we're going to have a penalty.
They're going to call goaltender interference on Giosa. And I'm not sure if that's the right call.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he had any way of controlling that. Let's take another look on
Let's take a look if he was forced into the goaltender or not. Giosa comes in. He's battling right there. Giosa's the one who heads into the net. He's battling with Vogel over there.
That's going to make the mountain even that much more difficult to climb as the K's are down 2 with 2:51 left overall in the game, but now are going to be on the penalty kill for 2 of those 2:51 that are left.
Well, that's been a rule that's been relaxed all over hockey. The referees are going to call that every time when you interfere with a goaltender, whether you were forced in there or not. It's kind of one of those things where you're trying to protect the player, much like the old in the grasp rule was in the NFL.
Now here's Nicolette trying to clear. Schrocky's going to track it down here in the corner and gets it cleared, but at this point the K's can't be settling to just clear the puck. They need opportunities. Effinger covers up.
And on the 2:25 left, another power play chance here for Evansville. Evansville, they're well behind in the playoff race, just 41 points on the season. Komets with 53. So Evansville trying to keep those slim playoff hopes alive. And in the meantime, if they can wreck the Komet season, they'd be more than happy to take that.
2:25 remains. Face off here in the Komet zone. Icemen win the draw. Colin Chalk venturing out as the Komets are having to be a little bit more aggressive than they normally would on a penalty. Clark down low to Bolio. Clark fans on it. Here's Chalk. Chalk stops, waiting for somebody. Marino is in front, but taken away by Robinson. Here comes Robinson. Robinson and Chalk have had so many battles. Bolio, back to Robinson. Played against each other for 15 years, have Chalk and Robinson.
And I got a piece of Effinger. Effinger didn't react to the puck, he more reacted to the stick.
Centering to Clark, he can't bury it home.
Clark with a goal tonight as we hit 1:27 to go, and Moon is going to take it into the offensive zone. He draws a crowd, and we get another penalty called, and it's going to be on the Komets again. It's going to be a slash.
Wow, and some frustration from Hegarty. Shoves Moon's stick over into the corner, and now the Komets are going to be 2 men down. Beauregard's going to, no, it's not Beauregard. Thought it was for
It's
a
going to be
second.
Smith. So the Komets 2 men down here, and that is going to make it impossible for Effinger to come off for the extra attacker. Well, it looks like the Komets are going to get their first 4-game losing streak of the season. First 4-game losing streak since last year. They had a stretch in March where they were 0-4-1, so that was a 5-game losing streak. And the Komets, they can't think about this one very much at all. They got to get on a bus and head east to Toledo for a 5 p.m. face-off against the Walleye, and it's another conference opponent. And the Komets just cannot let 2 more points slip away. They're 3 out of the final playoff spot. South Carolina has that spot right now. Elmira just 1 point up on South Carolina. So a very muddled mess there for that 7th and 8th slot in the Eastern Conference.
All right. Face-off won by Evansville. They got the back door wide open, but unable to connect on the pass up to the point.
Robinson chases it down for Evansville. Evansville just going to try and take this one easy. They don't want to give up a shorthanded opportunity.
Under a minute to go. Here's Plant. Many options. Robinson's going to let one go. Trying to swipe it out of the air was Moon. Here's Butler. 2-on-2 with Risk. He lets one fly, goes wide. Here's Risk. Risk tries to center to Chalk.
K's just a 1-man down now.
Here's Milam. 20 seconds to go. 27 seconds to go. Milam. Milam no one home.
Oh, Risk again. Risk playing out of position tonight. He is normally a forward, Komets had to play one D-man short. Henley was a healthy scratch because Chalk back in the lineup, and that was the veteran limit. Now we got an empty net.
Empty net with the goalie pulled, and the shot is wide right. 5 seconds to go. That is going to bring the end to what has been a disappointing night for the Komets. Jamie Milam ends it with a shot that goes high. 4-2. Your final score here from the Memorial Coliseum. The Komets fall to Evansville, their 4th loss in a row. And Shane, as you mentioned, it's been a long time since we've uttered those words.
Oh, the Komets again, they can't dwell on this one at all. As the K's come to center ice, they give a salute to these fans who came out, a sellout crowd tonight to support their Komets, but unfortunately, they don't give this crowd of over 10,000 what they want, which was a victory and 2 more points in the standing. Depending on what South Carolina did tonight, the K's might find themselves 5 back in the playoff race. And here we take a look at the goals. Here's the first goal, Giosa. Komets get on the board first. Giosa just kind of throws it on the net. He gets Dayton moving to his left, and he slipped it under the right pad. Komets did score first, which is something they've had trouble doing all season long. But tonight they do it, and they still cannot hang on to the lead, and they lose it by a pair.
And here was the second goal as we go to the Xfinity replay. That was Brandon Marino.
That was Marino picking up a loose puck, and that's what a goal scorer does. He finds the back of the net. Didn't call his name a whole lot tonight, but he gets on the score sheet with that big goal.
Well, you're kind of left scratching your head at this point, Shane. Just wonder where the Komets go to next.
As we take a look at the stats, again, final score 4-2, Evansville with the victory. K's outshoot the Icemen 30-24, and again, the penalty minutes, 14-8. That has been the big problem all year long. You mentioned that Kaylee Schrock said in the locker room before the game, the Komets got to get better defensively. That is true, but tonight they were snake-bitten an awful lot offensively. They had some great opportunities. Schrock had one there in the third period. You go back to that penalty shot in the second period, and those are just opportunities you just have to get into the net.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I did feel like having the presence of Chalk back on the ice did help them from an offensive standpoint. As you mentioned, it may not have resulted in goals tonight. You got to do a better job with that. But over the course of time, having him back in the lineup means only good things for the Komets.
Well, the deadline has passed for players to return from Europe. We got Jamie Milam back. However, the trading deadline is March 7th. And David Franke's got to be looking at this game and say, hey, what can we do else with this hockey club? I'm sure he's not done. I'm sure he's going to be on the phone. Anything he can prove this hockey club, he's going to do down the stretch, and maybe even a couple players going to be on notice after tonight.
To Toledo tomorrow, you have to think that at this point, when you're in the middle of a 4-game losing streak, anything becomes a must-win. You got to just stop the bleeding at this point and get this thing headed back in the right direction. But right now, you just got to stop the bleeding.
Now, they're going to play 3 games in as many nights, so this is going to be a tired, disappointed bunch schlepping over to Ohio to play the Walleye tomorrow. And then they get a week off, but they get the division-leading Cincinnati Cyclones in here on Friday night, so it doesn't get any easier for the Komets. And Evansville, the worst team in the division, these are games you have to win. You got to beat these teams that you're supposed to beat.
Yeah, you have to win. I feel like they got to get better goaltending in some respects. I mean, the last couple nights, and we mentioned, Kaylee said to me before, we got to do better on defense. So you really can't hang it all on either Cousineau last night or Effinger tonight. But, these 2 games, 2 nights in a row against, as you mentioned, one of the lower-end teams, and he gave up a combined 10 goals. That's too many. You're not going to win many games, and this is what you felt like was one of the definite key moments.
Oh, this is it. When you get a penalty shot, and Risk is a goal scorer, he makes a double move. He just gets in a little bit too deep. Dayton made an outstanding save, but it's one of those things where sometimes you can get a little too fancy going in there on a penalty shot, and that's what Risk did. He just didn't pull that trigger soon enough, and it results with the Komets not getting another goal. They don't get back in the ball of the hockey game, and they lose 4-2.
Yeah, at second look, that was a lot better save than we first thought, and I thought overall Dayton in between the pipes was pretty impressive. I mean, we've talked about the Komets not cashing in on their opportunities. A little bit of that, or maybe a lot of that, was also Dayton doing an awful good job in between the pipes.
Well, and Dayton, this is his sixth start in a row. He started last night, so fatigue certainly not a problem with Dayton. Dayton is an AHL quality goaltender since being set down from Peoria. He's not going to give you very many chances, and when you get those opportunities, you got to put it in the net.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think that when you look at defensively, they were hurt a little bit tonight, and they got to figure things out with Colin Chonk being back.
Right.
What are they going to do with their veteran spot? You're only allowed 4. Brent Henley's a big body that's a defenseman that can help us out physically, and he ended up being on the bench tonight as a healthy scratch. But that's going to about do it for us here from the Coliseum. Final score here from the Memorial Coliseum, 4-2. Evansville was able to come in and hand the K's their 4th straight loss, longest losing streak of the season for the Komets. They've got to figure it out from here. For Shane Alvarado, I'm Tommy Schegler. Once again, the final score, Evansville 4, the Komets 2. Thank you so much for watching on Xfinity.